Hello guys, and welcome to a Databrawl video. In this Databrawl video, I will be telling you on how you can get all of the badges in this game. Obtaining these badges will also give you a character that you can use in a roleplay version, so I will also be going over what character each badge gives you. Note that not all of the badges give you a character. Now before I start, I just want to tell you that I'm only going to be talking about badges that you can currently obtain. So that means no badges like the Big Bumblebee and the Halloween and Christmas event badges, as those are unobtainable. The Halloween and Christmas badges, however, are obtainable on the Halloween and Christmas events each year, but for the sake of this video, I will not be including them. Also, no badges from the fan games that are linked to the roleplay, since I never played any of the games, nor do I know how to get the badges from there. Also, quick note, this is going to be a lot like that one video I uploaded on my old account before I lost access to it. So this will be pretty much a remake and upload of that video. Now that's out of the way, I will now be telling you on how you can obtain all Databrawl badges that are currently obtainable. Hunger Management. This is a relatively easy badge to get. All you have to do is feed your allies as a program 10 times. This can be done with any of the machines that give out food or as a chub, although it can be a little tricky to give your allies the food using the machines. But I found that it's much easier to do as a chub since they can give out food anywhere. So the best way to get this badge is to try spawning in as a chub and then following your allies around like a firewall executor, for example. Getting this badge gives you the cookware character. Heartbreaker. This is another relatively easy badge to get. To get this badge, all you have to do is consume 5 program hearts as either the malware or virus, which you can get by killing programs. Now, while it's mostly easy to get this badge, it can be a little tricky if programs spend most of their times near firewalls, which makes it harder for you to get the program hearts needed to obtain this badge. The best way to get this badge is by joining busy servers, and there should be a lot of programs wandering around the map and plenty of them not staying close to firewalls. Getting this badge does not give you a character. Grave Mistake. This is a badge that you can get by being on a program's team, and instead of feeding the allies, you feed the enemies. If you do this 3 times, the program will turn either a pink or blue color depending on what corruption side you fed. After you get turned into a corruption, in other words die, you will get the badge. This one is a little harder to do than Hunger Management, as corruptions will almost always target you and you will likely be dead when trying to get this badge. Oh, and if you die, you have to start all over. The best way to get this badge is by becoming a chub and then giving the food to the enemy while also running away. Be careful though, because giving food to the enemies will hurt you and you can die while you're trying to get the badge, so make sure you have enough health before trying to get this badge. Oh, and one more thing. If you do this, you will be forced to play on the corruption team. So if you want to be on the programs team again, you will have to get at least 3 kills. So yeah, be prepared to be playing on the bad guys for some time. Getting this badge gives you a Rosalia character, which is a fictional computer virus which is based on a virus from the Wii game with the same name. Home Run. Okay, this is an annoying badge to get. It is random on when it will happen. So to get this badge, you have to be on either malware or virus. Then you have to spawn with a bat weapon. The thing about the bat is that every time you swing it, there is a really small chance that you will trigger its special effect. When the effect does kick in, you should hear that iconic sound effect from some TV show / cartoon. This is how you get the badge. You have to land a hit on someone when the home run effect kicks in. However, as I just said earlier, it's really annoying to achieve because it is random. There is nothing you can do to make it happen more often. It just happens randomly every time you swing the weapon. But when it does happen at the right time, you should be able to send an enemy flying across the map, regardless if it's a CIH or Bodier or any other character resistant to knockback. There will also be a Super Smash Bros. Melee sound effect and an announcer from the game saying a new record, which is the sign that you have just gotten the badge. There really isn't the best way on how you can get this badge. You just got to get good at hitting and hope the effect happens at the right time. There are no characters for this badge. Long live the king. So in order for you to obtain this badge, you need to kill a specific player, and that player you need to kill is someone with a crown. But the thing is, it can be either really easy or really hard to get because players with crowns aren't really all that common. And since the player needs to have the Dataverse Grandmaster badge, more into that later, to have the crown. And they must be wearing it too, so if they don't have the crown equipped, then you won't get the badge for killing a player. All I can really say is join a busy server. There's a good chance you may encounter a player wearing the crown. The badge does not give you a character. Jackpot! Just like with Home Run, this is a completely random badge. In this case, however, you have to use those slot machines in a roleplay version and get a 777, but it's completely random and you might not get it most of the time. I actually got lucky with this badge, and all I did was use the slot machine 3 times and got 777 and the badge. But some of you guys might not be so lucky. The best way to get this badge is to go into the bank, as it is the only building in the game to have 2 slot machines, which should double your chances of getting the badge. The badge gives you a more detailed, larger version of the casino character. Spoils of War and Fun for All. I'm including both of these badges because they both have the same requirement to get, except you have to be on a different team. For Spoils of War, you need to be on either Malware or Virus team when they're boost triggers, which is achieved by collecting coins. For the Fun for All, you have to be on either Program or Firewall team when they're boost triggers. It's not hard to get these badges, but it does take a while to trigger the boosts needed to get the badge. All I can really say is go after special characters, as they drop a lot more coins than the normal characters. Spoils of War gives you a more detailed retro character. Fun for All sadly does not give you a character. Explosive Results. This is a badge that you get for getting 5 kills with 1 mine. While it's not exactly easy to get, it's best to try attempting to get this badge in a busy server. Now, in order for you to get this badge, you got to find a group of 5 people or more that are together. Then, you want to throw a mine towards the group at a far enough distance so it explodes after reaching the group. You can also throw the mine in the sky, which will come back down and explode after hitting the ground. Just be careful when doing that, as the mine can actually kill you. You do not get any characters for this badge. Box Dimension. Okay, this is kind of a weird one. So in order for you to get this badge, you need to go into some place called Box Dimension, which can be found somewhere behind Software Suites. And once you're there are box related puzzles that you need to solve by pushing boxes around. This badge isn't all that hard to get, and I really got nothing much to say other than after beating the puzzles, you get a prize at the end. And the prize is being able to play as a wooden box. I am not making that up. Bully the Bully and Fitness Funeral. I'm including both these badges, as just like with Spoils of War and Fun for All, these badges have the same requirement to obtain. For Bully the Boy, you have to do some damage to an enemy corruption bodyer before it dies. And for Fitness Funeral, you have to damage the bloatware before it dies. I don't have much to say about this badge other than join a busy server, as there is a good chance you may encounter one of these 2 characters. Oh, and be careful, because bodyer and bloatware will be heavily guarded by their team, so it's best to use mines against them. For Fitness Funeral, you get Cruncher, and for Bully the Boy, you get Mini Fanner. Okay, so I will not be including these next badges, as 3 of these are progression badges, so I will only be including the last badge that you get during the progression. War never changes. This badge is probably a reference to that one line from the Fallout games. So what you do to get this badge is to just simply play the game. that's it. All you do is spend your time in the game in order to get this badge. You need to be in the game for about 2 hours, and you have to actually be in the game, as being in the menu will not count towards your progress. While it's not a very hard badge to obtain, it is very time consuming. And you better not leave the game or end up getting disconnected, because you will have to start all over. The best way to get this badge is to try finding and joining a near empty server, and possibly AFKing somewhere where people don't tend to check often. The file library and the bank is one of those locations. Sadly, you do not get a character for obtaining this badge, but it is one of the required badges to get in order for you to get this last badge, which I will get into very soon. Menace. This is the third hardest badge to obtain, and to get this badge you need to get a 25 kill streak without dying. If you die, you have to start all over, and if you leave the game or get disconnected, then you also have to start all over. This badge is rather tricky to get if you're playing as a normal character. If you're trying to get this badge as a program character, forget it. Unless you get a hardware, then forget trying to get this badge as a program. So the best way to get this badge is to become either a scareware or a spyware, as they can easily escape from enemies, which makes it easier to get the badge. Getting this badge gives you a mini Sawdunix. Absolute Madman. This is the second most difficult badge to obtain in the game. In order to obtain this badge, you have to go around and get 200 kills. Yes, you heard me, 200 kills! And you have to do this without leaving a game or end up getting disconnected. Otherwise, you have to do this all over again. So why is this badge harder than the other two I mentioned earlier? Well, Menace isn't really all that hard to get if you know what you're doing, and all you need to do is get 25 kills without dying. War Never Changes only really requires you to be in the game for 2 hours, which is very time consuming. Absolute Madman, however, you have to be going around getting 200 kills. So unlike those other two badges, you need to go around the map getting that many kills in order to obtain the badge. And trust me, you will die a lot while trying to get this badge. Really, all I can say is join a busy server and become a special character like a CIH, Scareware, Hardware, or Bodyer so you can get kills faster. Oh, and be careful when using mines, because if you get multiple kills that passes your 200 kill mark, the game will think you haven't gotten the required amount of kills, so therefore you won't get the badge, and you have to start all over again by leaving the game. You get mini polymorphic as a character. And lastly, this is the badge that you've all been waiting for. This badge is by far the most difficult to obtain in the game. It is so hard to obtain that only 6,047 people have the badge by the time I'm making this video. And this badge is the Dataverse Grandmaster badge. This is the most difficult badge to obtain in the game. And out of all the 1.95 million unique players in this game, only 6,047 players have this badge, and I am one of them. In order to get this badge, you have to get Heartbreaker, Absolute Madman, Hunger Management, and War Never Changes. The three of these are one of the most difficult badges that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, you have to get Heartbreaker and Hunger Management along with all of those progression badges. This badge gives you a collection of characters, and these characters are Goldgram, Velvan, and Mudu. I don't know how to pronounce the names. And that's the end of this guide video. I hope this video helps out a lot with getting the badge that you need. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like, and if you're new to this channel, do consider subscribing as I upload at least one video per week. It would also help a lot after I've lost access to my account that had over 1k subs. I'm also planning on doing a live stream on July 1st at around 3 p.m. Mountain Time, so if you are interested, check out the live stream, then link will be in the description below. I will be live streaming a Pokemon fan game called Pokemon Empire. Bye guys, and I'll see you next time.